Me to host this straight away. I was like, right, I have to get this chap on board. So yeah, without further ado, Liam Harris.
Yeah.
Alright, how's it going? So yeah, like Paul said, I work with him. We work in a cinema. Lots of love here, work in the same cinema. I went to see Selma recently. I went to see it with half the people who work here. I actually went to see it on Martin Luther King Day, so I don't know about you, but I'm doing my part for civil rights. It's kind of cool watching a movie because, like, you look back at it and you're like, Jesus, things were so bad back then. And you look at it now, it's like, it's not great now, really, is it? I mean, I don't know if you know this. 2 years ago, in February, Mississippi ratified the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, outlawing slavery. Yeah, I know. And they're like, their excuses were like, they were like, oh Jesus, oh we thought we sent off the paperwork for that one. We thought that was sorted. And like, I know that sounds like a really bad excuse, but in their defence, they've been really busy since the help left.
Oh yeah.
And like, it's easy to rag on America, everyone does. But like, Ireland obviously has its own problems. Like, we have the marriage equality referendum coming up, and I think a lot of the opposition to that just comes from people who maybe take their religion a bit too literally. Like, don't get me wrong, I like religion. I think the Bible is a collection of wonderful stories, but that's all they are. They're stories on, like, how to live your life. Like, for instance, the story of Adam and Eve is just a story about how a man will do anything for sex. And not even good sex. The first sex. I really don't think the world's first blowjob was up to much. I'm pretty sure Adam was down there just going, take another one, I'll do it myself. Yeah, so a lot of people think when you do stand-up comedy it's because you're confident. For me that's not really the case. For me it kind of comes from my childhood and how I was raised. Like, I didn't really get enough attention as a kid. Like, for one example, like growing up, my dad was always really emotionally distant until I was about 10 years old. And he became physically distant. Yeah, that's the appropriate reaction to that one. Half the crowd laughs, half the crowd pities me. I still remember the last time I ever spoke to my dad. I was 10 years old and I was on the phone. I just said to him, like, you know, I want to spend more time with you. And he explained to me very clearly how that conflicted with his plans to have a life that didn't involve me in any way. And now we're up to about 80% wanting to hug me. But like, it's not all bad. Like, growing up without a dad, there are advantages. Like, when you grow up with a dad, he teaches you how to play sports, he teaches you how to shave, and yeah, I missed out on both those things. But like, growing up without a dad, you learn other lessons. Like, for instance, I learned to always be walking on eggshells around the people I love, in case they stop loving me.
95%.
But like, what I'm saying is, like, I remember being back at school and people were like, my dad would kill your dad, and I'm like, can we set something up? Between the two of us we'll find him, surely. My mom kind of went the opposite direction on it though. If anything, my mom was a bit overbearing. Like, a typical Friday night in my house was my mom coming home drunk, crying, going, can I fuck you up? And they go, no, but keep trying, this could be your year. I had a really interesting revelation about my mum recently. I was out back home in Kildare with a few of my friends. My mum was out in the same pub. And my friends, who I hadn't seen in a while, were telling me the story about another guy we know who had been getting a hand job. And out of nowhere, the girl stopped and just went, actually, I'm not attracted to you, and left. So my mom came in while we were in knots laughing at this, and she wanted to know what we were laughing at. So we tried to tell her, but keep it vague, because no one wants to say hand job to her mom. But like, one of the lads let slip the word, and my mom went, sure, it was only a hand job. Which means, at the very least, I know my ma sucks dick. The appropriate reaction. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really do drugs, which is difficult when you look like me, because people will try and sell you drugs all the time. So what I like to do is just like eat my pain away. Like ice cream is my drug of choice these days. And what I'll do is I'll go to the shop and I'll be like, yeah, I'll pretend to do my weekly shop like I'm a grown-up. When I get to the freezer, it's like, oh, Ben & Jerry's is half price. So I'll bring that home with me, and then I'll bring it to bed. That's already a lonely experience. Best three-way I've ever had. But like, I'll get like halfway through the tub, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm not going all the way back to the kitchen. So then I just finish the tub, and I fall asleep with an empty tub in my hand, ice cream in my belly, and emptiness in my heart. Yeah, it's actually come to a head recently. Like, I was bedtime eating. I was washing some bed sheets recently, and there's a barbecue sauce stain that won't come out. Which, like, everyone's washed out the odd stain in their bed sheets, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who knows the crushing loneliness of bedtime barbecue chicken wings. I just keep hearing. Yeah, so like between my parental situation and my dietary habits, I wasn't the most confident person growing up. So I thought a great way for me to meet girls would be to join a band. So I learned how to play bass guitar. Same reaction I had at 15. Yeah. I think I figured it out. You ever notice that porn music is always really bassy? That's because a bass player is the only person never too busy having sex. I think for that to really work, you need to picture the set of a porn shoot. And people having sex, there's a director, there's a cameraman, and then in the corner is just me with my bass guitar. Like, yeah, getting funky now. Like I said, I joined a band to kind of meet girls, because a lot of people grow up in a broken home and it kind of like turns them against romance or love or whatever. But I still want to find someone. I don't want to have kids though. Mostly just because I don't think I could be around someone who has the emotional range to cry in front of strangers. I think I'd get jealous of the baby. But yeah, we get it, you're emotionally well-rounded, stop showing off. If I was to have kids, I think I'd adopt. And it's not for any of the altruistic reasons, like, oh, there's so many kids who need help. It's mostly just that I don't like myself that much. And I really don't think I'll get along with what is essentially a smaller version of me that shits itself. Yeah, so tonight I knew I'd be on with poets and musicians and people who actually hone a craft rather than just talk about how empty their life is. So I thought I'd do a prepared reading. So recently I had an experience with my bank. In response, rather than complain, I posted an open letter on Facebook, Twitter, and anywhere else on the internet to publicly shame these bastards. So here's my public reading of my open letter to my bank. Dear monsters, I've been a customer with Ulster Bank for as long as I've... I gotta put that in there. For as long as I've had more money than could comfortably fit in my Pokemon money box. Blastoise, in case you were wondering. I joined when I was 16, as I first entered the workforce, and have been with you now for a third of my life. In fact, among drinking, smoking, and touching myself, banking with you is likely one of the only activities I took up in my teens that persists to this day. And while those activities may be harmful to my lungs, my liver, my eyesight, and my palm hairlessness, I would take all of those things from you if my experience as a customer was 1% as pleasurable as 5 minutes on a lonely Sunday. I know what you're thinking. If it is so unenjoyable, why don't I just switch bank? Because if I left you, I'd just have to deal with another bank. And the difference between you and any other bank is the same as the difference between a stranger gently massaging your undercarriage on a crowded bus and a doctor giving you a prostate exam. Sure, both will make you uncomfortable, but one is a discomfort you eventually come to accept as part of adult life. What is the issue I wish to address, you ask yourself? Today at 4 PM, I went down to your O'Connell Street branch to make a lodgement, but you were unfortunately closed. I had checked online and saw that you were open until 4:30 PM. At first I had thought maybe I'd made a mistake, but your firmly locked door informed me that your opening hours were 9:30 to 4:30. This is a problem for me because all next week I'm working the same hours that people work.
So true.
You may notice that this is a problem with your business hours, opening half an hour after everyone else starts work and closing half an hour before they finish, directly conflicts with my schedule and I imagine many of your customers. But this has led me to a revelation. You don't actually open, do you, Ulster Bank? It's the perfect scheme. With everyone in work, nobody would ever notice. Well, I caught you in your lie today, Ulster Bank. I noticed. Don't worry, I don't expect you to do anything though. You're a bank and I'm just a customer. You have more pressing issues, such as sponsoring rugby and toppling the world economy. I just wanted you to know that I'm on to you. Warmest regards, Liam.